What's up, everybody? It's Neil from the BabbleTalkPod coming to you once again with another episode with my co-host, Basil Microbe. You already know what time it is. We are talking about the new Netflix TV show called Wednesday. Okay, fire. Okay, if you haven't watching it, what you doing with your life? Catch up. Okay, fix your life. All right, this Wednesday is one of the Adam Family characters and it's dope. You gotta watch it. So let's talk about it. Off rip, I love this show. I binged it off episode one. It was great. It was too good. It was too good to be too good. Okay, it was too good. Okay, it was too good. What you think of the show, man? What you think of the show? Your first impressions?
So I was excited to know that we're gonna come out with a Wednesday series. I was a little skeptical at first because I was always used to the original that came out back in the 1981. I think it was the 1981 version, but with Christina Ricci. But this show actually did come out to be good. Little nitpicks here and there, but it wasn't bad. So where do I start? For starters, I wasn't feeling Gomez and Morticia, if I'm being honest. Like, I know I try to give it a chance. I'm like, you know what? We give it a chance. I know that they're making Gomez a bit more like the cartoon comic adaptation. But even then, when watching it, I still wasn't feeling it. It felt kind of, I don't know whether it's because of the writing, but still kind of felt forced to me. Um, as for Wednesday, played by Jenna Ortega, she did an amazing job. She played the role well. From what I heard, during making the whole series, she did not blink the entire time. She had to keep those eyes open at all times. I think there was one or two times she did blink, but I don't know. It's just I think it's amazing.
She blinks on other people's lines, so when the camera's not looking at her, that's when she blinks. So she probably blinks like crazy,
Probably, right?
like what I'm saying. From what the interviews I was watching, off rip, I love the show. Let's start with the mom and dad, right? I don't know. I think they did a very good job. The mama was nice. The dad was funny. I like the dad. Gomez was, he reminded me of the cartoon, added the cartoon version of him, but also with a little hints of the original TV show, of the Addams Family. I think he did. I think it was like a good mixture of both with his own take on it and his own like who he is as a person and an actor. Overall, it was good. I like how the mom had a lot of secrets throughout the whole thing of the combating between mother and daughter was there, and I felt like it was kind of the mom fault for like she wanted to open up, but it was like very hard for her to tell her certain things that will happen to her down the road when it comes to having these visions that she's seeing, or might get a new type of power or whatnot. So I feel like she didn't want to put her daughter do that type of emotional stretch, right? Which is very funny because how it was saying like how she was talking to the dad like you had me do all these crazy things, you know what I'm saying? You had a pinata full of spiders and I had friends over and all over me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the dad was very like, I want you to live on your own terms. I want you to be your own person. I want you to live life however you want to and not regret nothing about it. And I really like that, how he instilled that into her. Because you can see it, how her face look all the time, right? It was funny how when it first started, the episode started, you see her brother, she had a vision of her brother getting shoved into the locker after she touches him or whatever. And she's like, okay, since some piranhas in the pool, took one of the boy's testicles. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was hilarious. All right? I think it was funny. I like it. I like her approach about it. And it's just crazy how she walked through the whole school. And where'd she get the piranhas? For one, where'd she get the piranhas from? Two, it ain't nobody around to be like, why you got a bag full of fish? What type of fish is that? They just
Yeah,
like,
you never. It was probably after school. You never know. The school must have
nah,
been
the
empty. It
school
was
was
no
still open.
practice.
The
Remember,
school,
it was private.
no, school was over. It was all them kids in there. No, it got to be one teacher that seen something. They was like, I ain't about to deal with that girl. You know, I really like it.
Who knows? Maybe they saw, but they didn't want to ask. Like, oh, she's got piranhas. Let me not ask her why she has them. I'm just gonna stay quiet.
You know,
That
yeah.
was entertaining to watch. It was just like funny how she's like, nobody can torture my brother but me, and she just threw him in there. I was like, oh. So yeah, when Jenna Ortega did good as Wednesday, and then I didn't know Wednesday could fight that well. She was taking down she took down those 3 guys at the coffee shop like nothing. I was like, ooh, she a fighter too. Ooh. Then she's good at fencing, where she had that one-on-one match with the Siren girl. Yeah. So that was a good match. I just like how, that she goes to the school Nevermore. Let's talk about Nevermore. Nevermore is pretty much a school full of outcasts, so to say. Think of it as almost like a school for the gifted children, like, for Professor Xavier, that type of school. And then knowing that a lot, and then the thing is, people know this school exists. They try to avoid it.
But
and
it's
then
crazy.
Knowing that there's this monster. What's up?
It's crazy that everybody know that the school exists, but they don't do nothing about it in a sense of, do everybody know that, okay, these are a lot of weird kids with different weird backgrounds, but do any of them have special abilities to do certain things, right? So,
yeah,
is it a school for like people of outcasts, or is it a prison for these children to be like, hey, you need to more of like each student, I think, all had a counselor with a therapy session with that lady.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was just a record of keeping tabs on every student mental health and everything, Yeah.
Yeah, and then fun thing is, Christina Ricci makes an appearance in the show. The original Wednesday, she's in this show. And I was like, it's funny because I didn't recognize her at first when I watched the trailer, but when I watched it a second time, I was like, oh shit, it's Wednesday Addams, the original. She's in this show. I thought she was just a cameo, but she was actually in the show. And for me, just saying, everybody, the spoilers ready. I'm going to spoilers. So spoilers. If you haven't watched it yet, you can stop the video right now.
Then come back and tell me that you're done watching it.
1. Okay, spoilers. So, you know how they're trying to figure out, okay, what's going on and who's behind it, behind like the killings and stuff like that. My hands were already down on Christina Ricci's character and that other guy, the coffee shop guy. Fuck, why am I always forgetting these names? Oh shit! But you know what I'm talking about. The main guy, the guy, a police officer. I already knew it was gonna be this guy because they try to make it look like, oh, the other guy was the one who was behind it. But it's like, nah, it was way too obvious. They were trying to forcefully make it this guy, even though it wasn't. Because when I looked at the features of the Hyde creature, I knew, because first of all, his face and the hair gave it all away. And then in the scene where the kid was in the forest and they see somebody torching the cave, I knew it was Christina Ricci's character. Because one, they did not do such a good job trying to hide the hair. Once you can see the hair was kind of reddish, kind of a little bit. It was like obvious it was her. Like, you're not gonna have Christina Ricci just to be there to be like the one get treated badly by like the principal. Just, I mean, it was kind of obvious. Well, okay, you have her here, but she's not gonna play like the nice person. Usually they never play the nice person.
Well,
you know what I mean?
If you think about it, I get what you're saying. I get the direction that you're going in, right? But since the school is full of outcasts, right? And she's an outcast within her own means, it made a sense of like she couldn't really do nothing because she's too normal to be anything else, right? And
exactly.
I thought it was the boy that kept painting it, right? The painter guy, because it's too convenient for him. he's always turning up where he shouldn't be, and he have so many drawings and like, oh, I had a vision, I had a nightmare that I could see something, and this is what I keep seeing or whatnot, right? So I'm trying to figure out, does his nightmares is just another form of his power to see different visions and stuff, but only the bad things that happens, nothing really good, right? He draws what he wants, what he want to see, but everything after that is very creepy and very dark and very spooky and whatnot. So, so I thought it was him at first because it just was too convenient to not be him, right? And then if it wasn't him, who was it then? Because they keep making you think and keep changing your answer every time, right? And I was just like, man, I think it's him, but maybe it's not him. Maybe it's somebody else, right? Now the boy, working the coffee shop, he was a little bit too forceful to get on Wednesday's good side or to be around Wednesday all the time, right? It was just too obvious, like, yeah, I like you, I want to be with you, all that good stuff. Yeah, sure you do. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure you're a lot older than her, you know? So it's like kind of weird, you know? So something like that.
Well, for me, it's just the thing is, I kind of felt like after like the first few times he makes an appearance, I don't know. After he makes a few appearances, I'm kind of like the monster. At least when the monster makes a few appearances, I'm like, okay, it has to be this guy. There's no way in the hell like this. You have the normal kid here and shit like that. Like he's involved in this somehow. Like and it was just that gut feeling. Like, okay, it's gonna be this guy probably working with somebody else. Cause the scene where into that mansion and he gets quote unquote attacked. He gets attacked, but we don't see it. We hear him get attacked, but we don't see it at all. So that's why I'm like, okay, it's this guy. There's no one in hell.
But the other guy showed up, though. The other guy, the painter guy, the guy that draws, showed up.
Yeah.
Right.
But here's the thing, though. Remember, he asked Thing where it was because he did go to Wednesday room. He asked, hey, Thing, where did they go? And, knowing Thing, he told him where they went. So that's why he was there. And for me, it was like so convenient. I was like, of course, they're gonna make him think it was this guy, even though for me, it's like it's this guy because he scratched himself up pretty good, and then he turned to a monster. So it's like I've seen that formula before. We're like, oh, I'm getting attacked. I've seen that formula when they claim they're getting attacked. We don't see they get attacked, and then at the end, oh yeah, no, I just injured myself to make it look like I was attacked. So that's why I thought, okay, it's this guy already, but whatever. I know. For me, it was kind of predictable. I kind of knew it was that. Probably because I was getting way too invested in the show, and I started getting way too, analytical over these things.
So, would you say, basically, this show is a mixture of Scooby-Doo, Umbrella Academy, The Magicians, That's So Raven, and Harry Potter, right? All of it, right? It got a little sprinkle of a little bit of all that in it. To show, like, it can go either way, right? That's what Raven with the visions of having her, but that's what Raven don't really touch anything to see the vision. She just have them, right? But it's like weird moments, and it's not like she can do it on command, right? It's same with Wednesday. Right. She have to touch something that's very particular, and it got to be important for it to react, for her body to react to see it and whatnot.
For me, I legit got a lot of, Scooby-Doo and Harry Potter vibes. Mainly the Harry Potter vibes came from the end, the finale of the episode where she was going to get the program. For me, it's like, damn, it kind of reminds me where, in Harry Potter, the wizards, all the students had to protect the school against, Voldemort and his army. Whereas in this one, you have, everybody in the school escaping and all that. So I'm just like, yeah, they got this off Harry Potter. The only difference is it's just one student, two students going against a villain.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, that was kind of a total cop-out. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of disappointed with like the main guy coming back, cause I know they all say it was the big bad. Like he was gonna come back and kill all these.
But with everything we talking about right now, everything, if you watch the show, you will understand this question that I'm about to ask Baze. At the end, when he got that phone, when Wednesday got at the end of the show, when she got that phone, right, from the painter boy, right, she got an unknown text talking about I'm watching you, right. So who is the true mastermind of all this? Because it can't be the principal, because she died. It can't be the plant teacher, because she died, right? It can't be.
But did she really though?
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, no, they shot her, right? Didn't they shoot her?
Yeah, or something like that, right? Oh, yeah. And then it can't be Jekyll and Hyde, Mr. Hyde, right? Because they locked him up, right? But he's coming back, because I'm pretty sure that that's not going to stop him, right? Toward the end, right? So, who is it? Or do you think it's her mother?
You would think it's...
Think about it.
Her mother.
Think about it. Maybe it's all a test, and she just don't know yet. She just don't know. But that's just a funny guess right there. But from the people watching the episode, who you think is the true mastermind of all of this? Who is either out for Wednesday and want her gone, and why? Comment down below and share with everybody. I want to see everybody answers. But what do you think? Who is the real mastermind behind it? Because how can someone have a phone number of someone who just got a phone, their very first phone, right? He had to give him that number out, so he's probably part of it. Somebody else. He's probably part of it, but he doesn't know. Maybe he don't know that he's part of how the teacher was manipulating the boy somehow or whatever. So maybe somebody manipulating the painter boy, and he's like, he doesn't know what's going on, and boom, she come back to Nevermore for another year. I think they shutting down the school for a while to find a new dean or whatnot. So I don't know. But what would you rate the show out of 10?
I think I gave it a 9 out of 10, I believe.
A 9 out of 10.
Like a 9 out of 10.
I gave it a 10 out of 10. What was your favorite scene in the show?
I'm gonna be honest, the scene that everybody right now is talking about, the dancing scene.
Come on now.
Come on now. She was just all like this. I was like, and it was funny. I think that whole scene was improvised, or some parts of it were improvised, because she was just dancing. I was just like, what is going on? No, she
said in one of the interviews I watched, she said she choreographed it all. She was very nervous about doing it, because I think she made it up in her head, but it got it down to like how she wanted it to look. And I think it was done beautiful. For the character Wednesday, the dance that she did makes so much sense. I don't know why, but the way she did it, I feel like she really studied the character, of who the character and how the family is and different things. I remember a long time ago, I think the Addams family had like a big house party or whatever, and it was different people dancing. So maybe she took a little bit of inspiration from certain people in the family and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. Like there were two references. The dances, like one of the dances were from like the old Adam Family show, and then the other one was the 1981. So the first one was the little with her feet, she was doing something move with her feet. And then the other one was the one with Morticia, because in the 1981 version, Morticia does the dance, when she's raising up her hands, which is what Wednesday did. Because her mother does the same. Yeah, that mother does the same thing. So she got that not only from the old movie, but mainly because that's her mother used to dance that way too. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I saw that. I peeped that. I liked it.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes too. I like it was a lot of iconic quotes and scenes throughout this whole series. But I can't wait for season 2 of this awesome series that's out right now. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it and let us know. Share it, like, subscribe. Peace out, boys and Girl Scouts. See you in the next episode. Peace.